Hi there, my name's Daryl and welcome again to The Check-In. Joined this week by Kelly, Craig and Holly, and we are talking this week about some great stag and hen-do destinations. Right, stag-do's, hen-do's, depending what your gender is. You'll have been on one of those, I'm sure, and these three here have been on a few as well. Craig, we'll kick off with you. You look like you've been around the block a few times.
Thank you. Yeah, I think if we're talking domestically in the UK, there's plenty of places you can go. But if you want to keep it a bit cheesy, you've got your 70s, 80s weekenders in places like Butlins, which is quite interesting.
Classy as well.
Absolute class. Hooch, if you like hooch.
Yeah. Do I?
So you've got those types of places, which is really, really good in the UK as well. If you want to take that a tad further afield and you've got the money to spend, not like myself, you've got your classic Las Vegas type empire. You've got the entire strip to be to play with. The casinos, the clubs, the nightclubs, the events that they put on. It will cost you a fair wedge, but you've got that. If you're looking for something a little cheaper and you want to stay closer to home, you want to go to Europe, a bit further afield in Europe, but still within Europe, Riga in Latvia. You've got cheap accommodation, cheap flights, cheap food, cheap everything, shall we say? And it's real value for money when you get there. And the more adventurous people, for us out there, if you're talking about places like Reykjavik in Iceland, where you can go sea fishing, you can go ice climbing. If you've got it in you, there's 4x4 mountain tours over the fjords, exactly.
Perfect for Jeep enthusiasts.
Absolutely
Fantastic. We should probably say cost effective rather than cheap for the good folk of Riga.
Yes.
Before we slate them too much. Berlin, speaking from my experience of having ventured into Europe on a stag do, is a pretty good location. Firstly, because it's massive and there's plenty to do, which means you're not tucked up and pigeonholed as that stag do, those lads in the pink T-shirts helling around, but they've got that good blend of history, stuff to do in the day when you're hungover, and then frighteningly strong beer in the evenings for, lads and all of that caper. Well, that's the boys. What about you girls? Holly, you've been on a few hen-dos, I believe.
Yeah, so there's a few good spots around England. I've been to Bournemouth, Brighton and London, all really good. Brighton definitely is popular with stag and hen-dos. It's got a really good atmosphere. Nightlife is really good. Bournemouth is sort of like a student town, so there is a lot of clubs and bars to go to, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be full of 18-year-olds. That's not the case. And then I've been to London as well, which was really good. People tend to think it's quite expensive, but there's a lot of companies. I used UK Girl Thing, and you can sort of do like a whole day with them, and they get all your event sorted. So I did a spa day and then a dinner, 3-course meal and a night out and accommodation. It was really cheap. So it's a really good idea to look into doing that.
Great. Top tips. What about if we're venturing out? I think I know where you're going to take us on your hen party, Kelly.
Original much, yeah. Obviously, I'm going to talk about Dublin, being the token Irish person on the panel today.
To be sure.
And to be sure. Dublin is great. It's an option for stag and hen-dos. You can go there. If you're going there on a hen-do, you've got all of the spa weekend kind of criteria, some great hotels. You've got lovely rooftop bars. You can have a great weekend over there, and it's not that expensive, contrary to popular belief. I think where it might hit is the stag do's. If you tend to stick around Temple Bar and don't venture too far outside the box, you will be paying about €7-8 a pint. But that said, it's worth it because the Guinness at home is absolutely fantastic.
It sure is. I was there myself. I would say about stag do's, if you're not looking to remortgage, you've not been on a stag do as far as I'm concerned. But in the UK for stag do's as well, I've been up to the Lake District. I don't know if anyone's been up there. Good stag do venue again. It's the great outdoors, good manly things to do. But also the beer's cheap, the meat's plentiful. What's not to like, really? Ever been up north for a stag do in this country?
I haven't, Daryl, no, sorry.
You've not lived. Any more, Holly?
I think going out of the UK, somewhere I've been a lot, but it's not for stag or hens, but it's Benidorm. It's kind of the classic cliche stag or hen destination, but it is really good. You've got sort of the old town, which is really quiet, nice beaches if you want to relax during the day, but then you have obviously got the new town, which is nightclubs, the strips, the bars, really cheap alcohol, and it's really like buzzing all the time. So it is somewhere to go if you just want to go and have a lot to drink, basically.
So you would prefer the new town in Benidorm to the old town?
I think I prefer the old town.
Wow.
It's very pretty.
We'll see. But there you go. So if you're getting married soon, or you know someone who is, and you want some inspiration for where to go on your stag or hen do, hopefully we're giving you some ideas. Leave your ideas in the comments below if you've got any extra ones for us, and join us again next time on The Check-In.